Okay, we're going to talk about paints. So let's look at the paints that we're going to use. These are all oil colors, oil paints, and we have various brands. There's some Bob Ross here with some blue and some red. We also have Winsor & Newton. Here's a purple. The main colors we're going to be using are a white, usually titanium white, a black, a brown of some sort, a green, a yellow, a red. Other than that, you can buy it whatever brand you can afford. Oil paints are usually expensive no matter what brand you buy. So Winsor & Newton is going to be comparable to a Bob Ross oil paint. Shop online, go to Amazon, go to your local arts and crafts store or Michael's and see what's there. Here's a little kit that I bought, and this has some different names for the colors. Different names for the colors. We got ultramarine blue instead of phthalo blue. I use a Prussian blue and a phthalo blue a lot, but ultramarine blue will work. If you have a blue and I've got a blue, we're going to do some painting, okay? That's the main thing. So these kits are good. I think I paid like, I want to say $35, $40 for this whole kit. These are some smaller tubes, but those will work, especially if you're just starting out, you know. You don't know if you're going to get into oil painting and this is going to be something that you feel like doing, buy the smaller kit. And then you've got all your colors here. It has the white and the yellow. Let's talk about some of the other things we're going to use. And one of the things is black gesso. Now, this is an acrylic, and this is the only acrylic out of all of this. These are all oil paints. This is a black acrylic, and this dries in 10 or 15 minutes. We're going to cover our canvases when we do the space scenes or some of the landscapes that require a dark background to start out with. We're going to cover our canvas with black gesso, let that dry, and then we'll start painting on top of that. So I would pick up some black gesso. Linseed oil. Now Bob Ross sells what he calls a liquid clear. Same thing. Linseed oil, liquid clear. We're going to be using this to thin our paints, sometimes mixing, and then also to apply it to the canvas before we start painting. On some of the paintings, we'll be using linseed oil. So this is a little bigger can. You can probably find a smaller one. You won't need very much linseed oil. It'll go a long way. So there's linseed oil. This is the Bob Ross liquid white. He uses this a lot on his wet on wet oil paintings. We are going to be doing some wet on wet style oil paintings in the style of a Bob Ross or a Bill Alexander. So I would pick up some liquid white. This is a must, along with your standard oil paints, the colors I told you about, the black, the white, the red, the green, the blue, the yellow, and a brown. Okay, get those and liquid white and we could get started. Now, what are we mixing our colors on? A paint palette. You can find these on Amazon or your local hobby store. Your thumb goes in here, if I can get it right. Thumb goes in here. I'm left-handed, so this is the way I would hold it. I would hold it with my right hand, and I'd put my paints, my blue and my black and my white, on here, and we'll be mixing and using our colors on this paint palette. This is plastic, so when we're done, this will all wipe clean and clean up, and we'll be ready to go for another painting. Here's one of my old paint palettes that I kept painting and I didn't clean, and as you can see, I've got dried paint all over it. Don't do this. We're going to clean our palettes in between painting shows. So anyway, there's the paints. There's the things we're going to need. Your black gesso, your linseed oil, liquid white, and then your oil paints.